How's it going, fellow summoners? Trigger Tickle here. I am going to go ahead. I started a new account here because I wanted to go through and do a new player tutorial, sort of. So I'm going to do these in multiple videos. I'm not going to play this every day. I'm only going to play this account when I'm doing the videos, just to show you guys as an early game what you should be doing as far as development goes. So let's go ahead and start this. Let's go for it. So, the Mana Crystal. Oh man, a pure crystal containing fearsome power. The magic war of 100 years began. Mysterious power ended with a surprise called the Celestial Arena. Okay, I want to skip this, so I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. Or can I even skip it? I can. So I have to wait for the victories, their hearts, what they desired. What did they desire? The first rule of the arena was simple. Accept the challenge. Those who are ready will deserve the honor. I can't read the rest of it because it's covered up by the magazine. Ah, shit. So, new character. As you guys can tell, I put a lot of thought in the Trigger Tickle. That one just off the top of my head. Normally what I would do is characters from the Wheel of Time series. Has anybody read the Wheel of Time series? It's a great fucking book series, so I recommend that to anybody out there that reads that. Frackle Dandy. No one's going to have Frackle Dandy. Told you. So, you start off here and you get Ella, which goes into her spiel and conversations and whatnot.
You made it. I've been waiting for you. I'm Ella, and I'll be assisting you from here on out. It's an honor, and I'll do my best till the day you rule the arena.
So I'm going to skip through this shit. You guys can read it if you want to. That's part of the experience in starting a new game. I am not going to ruin that. If you want to go in there and read it, it does have a nifty story, but I'm just going to show you gameplay. If you want to... Oh, boom. I got 314, fool. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys gameplay. I don't want to ruin the story. You guys can go in and do that on your own. So, summoning. She wants me to summon an unknown scroll. So, I'm going to go into this here. She'll explain it a little bit more here in a second, I do believe. So, unknown scrolls, in the beginning, these are going to be a little bit hard for you to get. They're going to be few and far between. Don't worry about it. Unknown scrolls, by mid-game, you're going to be drowning in unknown scrolls. So, don't worry about them. These are your basic scrolls that can go, I'll explain a little bit later, but it goes from 1 to 3 star monsters is what you can summon with them. And they're fodder. So what that means is you're going to be summoning these for resources. So basically look at it like this. You need resources in this game in order to make your monsters better. So this is going to be one of your main sources for that. One of your main resources is unknown scrolls. It's a secondary resource, obviously. Your first is going to be your mana and then your crystals. So mana, crystals. So let's go ahead and summon this bad boy, see what we get. I wonder what it could be, guys. I bet I know what it could be. I bet it's going to be a hellhound. Water hellhound. No. Fire hellhound. And I'm not magical, guys. I've played this before, so that's one of the first monsters you summon. So he's really good. Keep a hold of him. He will get you through the majority of the first part of the game, so definitely hang on to this bad boy. See it? He is a swift attacker. She is right. Ella, you are right. Let's try something stronger this time. Use a mana crystal to perform a mystical summon. Oh, man. So you have a chance of getting with mystic summons and mystic scrolls. So those are going to be I consider these secondary resources, like I said, not including your mana or your crystals. So secondary resource is Mystic Scrolls. So Crystal Summons, if you do this, how that one's summoned, it's anywhere between 1 and 3 star monsters. This will summon between 3 and 5 star monsters. Now, I will get to the different stars of monsters here in a minute. Suffice to say, obviously, 1 star monsters aren't as good as 2 star, 2 star aren't as good as 3 star, 3 star, 4 star, and so on. Now, there are a lot of exceptions for that, and we will talk about that later on. But for the most part, the higher the star rating of a natural monster, meaning what it is naturally summoned at. So that Hellhound right there is naturally summoned at a 2 star. I'll get to upgrading them later, but suffice to say that depending on the star rating, normally that shows how good of a monster it is. And again, like I said, there are exceptions to that. I will tell you right off the bat, other than the first time that you have to do a crystal summoning, don't do it again for the first part of the game. It's a waste of crystals. Crystals are very valuable. They are valuable. They are very valuable to you at the beginning of the game, so don't go wasting them just summoning monsters. Even if you start reading Reddit or other online forums that say there's a higher chance of getting a better monster with crystal summons as opposed to Mystic Scrolls. Don't listen to that shit. It's gibbro. It's baloney. No, I like baloney, but not in this game. So, all right, let's summon. Did we get a Vagabond from this one? It's been so long, I forget. Let's find out. Oh, fair, yeah. So, this will be your first heal style monster that you're going to get. Her first skill attacks an enemy 3 times with a whirling storm of water. It freezes the enemy for 1 turn with a 20% chance. So it has a chance of freezing an enemy, and what that means is they basically lose a turn. They're frozen and they're not unfrozen until their next turn begins. So it wastes 1 of their turn. Her second recovers the target's HP and removes all harmful effects. The recovery amount is proportionate to the attack power. So I'll get to different stats here in a minute, but basically what that means is if your other monsters get damaged or if they get hurt in battle, she will heal them. And then we have what's called leader skills. Increases the resistance of ally monsters by 20%. I will get the leader skills here in a minute once we get past this little tutorial setup. Teleport, just whatever. So, okay. So we just started, so we're going to go to the scenario map, which all of this yummy stuff is locked except for the Garin Forest. So here we go. Let's apologize for that. So, leader. What that means is your leader will be always put into this slot. So it explains that. And if you see it right up here, it'll say your leader skill increases the resistance. So what resistance, and again, I'll explain them all, but basically what that means is resistance is the ability to withstand critical hits, which a critical hit is basically, it is the chance of you or your enemy to do a lot of damage. So I think it's 50% more is what a base starts out as. So say I do 100 damage. If I crit, I'm going to do 150 damage. Now, you can increase it, which we'll get to that with runes and such later on. But for now, that's what it does. So resistance means that it's the ability to resist that, such as critical hits. Or if, how I said, I think her first attack was, what was that? Puts them to sleep. So if, with a certain percentage of chance, so resistance means that adds on to my ability to resist attacks like that might freeze me or do something bad like poison. So we'll put them out there. And I'm not trying to talk to you guys like you're stupid. I know some of you have probably played Final Fantasy and you're turbo nerds out there just like I am, but I know some of you probably haven't played this before, or might have not have actually played any games like this. So this might be your first time. This might be helpful for you. So that's what I'm trying to do. So, excuse me. Again, I'm starting to get over a cold, so whatever. Alright, so basically what you can do is, so this attack, bite your enemy and recover 30% of the inflicted damage as HP. So that's good. If he gets damaged, you can use that. It's his first skill. He can use it every time. no matter what. He will always be able to use that ability with no cooldown. And what I mean by cooldown is, look at this skill right here. So bite. Bite your enemy continuously to inflict great damage. So, but you see that right there, reusable in 3 turns. What that means is you can't use it again for another 3 turns, clearly. But the first skill, that's always going to be, it's your like base attack, it's your little minimum, and you can always do it. So I'm going to talk about attributes now. You see these little yellow arrows pointing at these hog guys. Well, it shows you right here. So the target arrow differs according to the property relationship. So what that means is fair just means it's normal, green favorable, red's unfavorable. That is your elemental advantage over the other parties. So fairy is water. These guys are fire. Fire normally defeats water. So basically look at it as like a game of rock, paper, scissors. So fire and fire, it's you're not going to get any increase to damage or protection from that. Water against fire, you're going to get more attack damage. Fire against water, they're going to do less attack to you. And there is also a status called what is glancing hit. And what that means is it glances. It just goes, ow, yeah, like that, and just glances off of you. So it does less damage. So if a fire goes against the water, that'll happen. So let's just attack these idiots and be done with this. So see that? He's stunned. And down here, you can increase your speed, which I always do 3 because eventually at some point in the game you're going to be doing the same because you don't really care to watch this because it's slow animations and blah, 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 blah. So, alrighty, there. First scenario, what do we get? Unknown scroll. Incredible. This was okay. Yeah, we got it. Like I said, you guys can go through that if you want to know the story. I am just showing you how to basically play it. So we get to summon another one, and this one's the Vagabond. Yeah, if I remember correctly. These are all scripted, by the way. So, yeah, that's the Vagabond. Alright, so now we got our team. So there's our little team here. That's a Vagabond with limb properties. This takes blah, 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 blah. So here, see what I mean? So fire, good against wind, wind, good against water, water, good against fire. And then you have the specialty groups, which are light and dark monsters, which don't worry about it, don't get discouraged. You're not probably going to get any of, well, you're not going to get any of these early on. If you're there for like this not the scenario, but the monthly reward, you can get, it's I think it's one, once a month you can get 1 light and dark scroll, which gives you a chance to summon between 3 and 5 star light and dark monsters. So light and dark are weak only against themselves, as opposed to how water, strong against fire, weak against air. Light and dark, if the light goes against any one of these 3 over here, it's not going to do anything. It would be like if an air went against an air, or if a water went against a water, same. It's going to have just no positives, no negatives. Same with dark. No positives or no negatives, I'm going against these guys. But if a light goes against a dark, it's going to be as if a fire went against an air. Same if a dark goes against a light. If a light goes against a light, same thing, just not any bonuses or negatives. So that's basically how the attribute system works in this game. So I know any of you that's played any other type of games like Pokemon or anything like that, it's pretty similar to that. It's just a lot more simplistic. So there's that. Alright, what monsters we got? Alright, so rune systems. So here's your base. So attack, obviously, how much damage you can do. Your HP, how many hits you can take, how long you can survive. Defense, reduces incoming damage is basically what defense does. Speed, how fast you go, and also when you're attacking you have an attack bar, so it's blue, and once it's full that means it's your turn. So speed determines how quickly that attack bar fills up, and also determines your attack order. So say we have 3 monsters, one with 103, 102, and 101. The one with 103 will attack first, 02 will go second, 01 will go last. But on top of that, the one with 03, its attack bar would fill quicker. So the higher your speed, the quicker you can go. Clearly, that's pretty self-explanatory. Crit rate, again, that's it's a 15% chance. So I have 15% chance. So crit rate, crit damage go together. So let's say I attack and I hit crit rate. So I get a crit. That means I will do 50% of what my normal damage would be. So let's say normally I would attack for 100 damage. When I attack, I have a 15% chance to crit. And if I crit, it'll do 50% on top of what I normally do. So I do 150. Now with runes, and oh yeah, resistance, resist crit rate, or I'm sorry, resist criticals, resist there's what's called debuffs, which are they debuff your attack or your defense, which means it reduces it. So if I have what's called a defense debuff on, I'm going to take more damage. There are monsters in this game that can put those on there. So resistance means I'm going to be able to have a chance to resist those other people from landing those on me. And then they have accuracy, which is the opposite of that. Let's say I have an ability that could land a defense break, which is lower their defense. Accuracy is going to come into play on that, so it's going to get up my chance of landing that debuff on the other person. So these are all base stats, and then what we have is runes. Runes are capable of increasing those base stats, and they are pivotal in the playing of this game. So they are pretty much it's a huge part of the dynamics of it. So runes are definitely important. So we have like this crap rune here. It's an energy rune. So if you look down here though, where it says 2 set, what that means is some of these runes will give set bonuses on top of what the actual rune does. So let's say if I were to put, and if you see how this one's up, energy rune 1, there are 6 different slots. So this one fits into the first slot. So if I put this guy on here, so you can engrave it, blah, 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 blah. So it's engraved, excuse me. So this is going to increase my attack by 3. You can power these up. It does cost mana. Now, if you get a rune, the first, yeah, shut up, Ella. Yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. Trying to talk here. Crap. Okay, we're going to do a power circle. Okay, yeah, I get it. No, I don't want, okay. So power up circle. Basically, this, I'll get back to the runes here in a second. So basically power up circle. What this does is it allows you to exactly that, power up your monsters. So you see right here where it says evolve. So each star monster has a max level cap. For level 1 monsters and, yeah, for level 1 monsters, it's, the max cap is 15. For 2-star monsters, I'm sorry. For 1-star monsters, the level cap is level 15. For 2-star monsters, the level cap is 20. 3-star, 25. You see where I'm going with this? So 4-star, it would be 30. 5-star would be 35. And your max that we do right now in the game is 6-star, can go up to 40. So what happens with this is you can power up your monsters like this, which you can take like lower grade monsters, and I would suggest only doing this with 1-star monsters. Do not use your 2-star or 3-star to use them for power-ups. And what a powered up does, it's basically just giving experience to your monsters. So 1-star monsters are all your fodder. You can feed them to whoever. So boom, he gets that, he goes up a level, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Now, I want to keep, shut up, I'm trying to do a video here, Ella, and you're being an asshole. Oh my god, I don't care. I know how to do this. Blah, 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 blah. They like to talk a lot. See, this is why I didn't read any of this crap. So I'm going back to here. So again, this is what you can do. Let's say this monster has reached level cap and it's level 20 now. Well, you can evolve it to make it a 3-star. And what that would do is it makes it stronger, clearly, and its base stats right here would increase. And it now has now what happens with that though is let's say I reach max cap level 25, which would be her max level cap with her. And then what I'm able to do is if I go in here and let's say I'm just going to use him. So let's say he's max level 20. I would need 2 additional 2-stars. Doesn't matter what level they are. I just need 2 of them. And what would happen is these 2 slots would become open. I would put those 2 in there for food, hit evolve. It would then evolve into a 3-star monster, and those 2 would just be eaten up for food. Now what happens with that though is, so say I reach level 20 and I do that. I'm going to be a 3-star monster, but my level is going to go back down to level 1. Now you think that's bad, which I wouldn't blame you if you did, but it's not, because these base stats are going to be much higher, and if I were to get back up that monster, raise it back up to say its max level, which is now 25, these stats are going to be exponentially more stronger than what they were at level at a 2-star. So evolving monsters is it's part of the game. It's what you're wanting to do. So that's one aspect of it. So let's go back to the runes. So where was I on this? So yeah, back to this. You see this 2 set? What happens is means if I put another energy rune on here, my HP is going to be increased by 15% of what my max HP is. So that's what an energy rune set does. That's what they mean by sets. So if I go in, they've got swift runes, which increases your speed by 25%. They got blade runes, which increases your crit rate by 12%. Guard, which is your defense, and so on. And we'll get into different types of runes and how you should use them later, but that's basically what they do. Also, with power-ups, the first 3 power-ups, you will never fail those. The first 3, you will always be able to increase to +3 on a rune, no matter what, and you won't fail. Now, past the 3rd level, see how that's +1? Oh, and every 3rd level of an upgrade on this, so now it's at +3, you will get an additional what they call substat. So on this one, it increases Fairy her speed by 1. So if I were to get this up to as +6, I would get an additional substat down here. And your runes can go up to a max level of 15. So those additional substats will be at +3, +6, +9, and +12. You can only get 4. And you can only max your runes up to level 15. Now, back to that +3. So the first 3 levels you always get. However, from here on forward, you do have a chance of failing that upgrade. So if I were to push power up, which I'm not going to because I'm saving my mana right now for later on, you do have a chance of failing. And what that means is you basically just wasted 400 mana and you didn't get anything from it. Now, from 3 to 6, the chances of you failing, they're low, but the higher the level of the rune gets, the more chances you're going to fail. Up to level 15, 14 to 15 is going to be, it's a massive gap. You have such a hard time trying to fail it. So at this point, don't focus too much on trying to upgrade these level 1-star runes. I would at most do up to +6, and I would forget from there. Honestly, I would only do up to +3 with 1-star runes because you're going to be replacing them so quickly. And it's just, it's a waste, so don't do it. Do up to +3 just to get that additional substat and forget it. At least until you get, I would say, up to 3-star runes, which runes come in different amounts. So that's the weakest. So until you are starting to get 3-star runes, don't waste your money trying to upgrade them. And where do runes come from? Runes come from these scenario areas. Clear up through here. So in order to get to the next scenario, so yeah, you can view what is dropped from here. You can acquire it by, so you can get an Elven Ranger by clearing up to level 7. So that's going to be really good for you because it's a really good starting out monster if you're just going. So they have these rewards where you can get monsters and You can do I'll get to the dailies here in a second. So basically just up to there. So yeah. So anyways, in order to clear a complete scenario and move on to the next one, you have to clear out through all of these. Once you've completely cleared out one of these scenarios, you can click here, you can go to hard mode, or you can go to hell mode, which is basically harder versions of it. So that makes more sense. They also have, it's a higher drop rate. So you can go to drop info. What can you get from here? Right here, you can get energy runes. And these monsters right here have a chance of dropping. Now, you're going to get the beginning, these ones are the easiest, so they're going to have a higher chance of dropping. 2-star monsters are next, followed by the 3-star Anagami, which if you get him, keep him. He's actually very good. So if you get a chance to get one, keep it. Now, also what I forgot to mention is, back here to the upgrades. So you see how these guys have the gold stars? That means they're capable of evolution. Any monster with gold stars can evolve to another level. Any monster with silver stars cannot. They can only max out at their level. So if you go back to this scenario here, do you see these guys right here that are silver? Do not waste your time trying to level these characters, because once they hit max level 20, can't go any further, you can't evolve them. Any silver 2-star monster, keep a hold of them though, because you can use those as what we call fodder or food. So let's say my 2-star monster, the Vagabond, or let's say the Fire Hellhound, once he gets to max level 2, instead of using, say, another 2-star monster that has gold stars, which I could evolve eventually, I can use these what's called trash monsters to evolve them instead, and I'm not wasting anything. So just keep a hold of these guys. Don't level them. Just keep them for food. That's why, like I said, they're considered secondary resource. So just keep a hold of them. And yeah, so you can get through the scenario through there, and then you have these right here, which is your daily missions. So boom, completed that one all right. I haven't had these daily missions for forever. So complete mission, let's go for another round. Use 20 energy. Come back when you're ready. Summoner's duty, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And missions. Alright, so I'm going to tell you right now, do not collect these right off the bat. Here's the reason. Do you see that right there? That is your player level. So, and this is my max energy, 30. So if I go out here, and let's just run this scenario real quick. So, put you, you, and you. And you can manual these, which basically means, well, you don't have a chance to auto. We'll get to that in a minute. So, actually, let's do it now. So, this, you have to play through these, like I'm doing right now. I'm manually clicking on this. Once you complete a certain level in the scenario, however, you can click this little button down here. Auto will be available at level 3. So once you've reached player level 3, you can click that, and it'll just glide through and do everything automatically, so you don't have to click. And we'll get to that later about how you can farm, basically just making a single monster so it goes through just to raise up your fodder and trash monsters. So I'll take this bad guy out. So low health. And also with the auto, I'll talk a little bit about a team that can sustain itself. So if I were to auto right now, I'd probably die because it's what's called team synergy, what plays together, what monster is able to make my team last. So, see, level 2, boom. And this is why I said save those, because see how I'm back up to 31 now? What happens is every time you gain a level, if I were down to say 0 energy, or I was down to like 3 energy, I played this, I hit a new level, immediately refilled. So that's why you want to save those. Wait until you're very low on energy and then collect them, at least when you're first starting, so that you can progress further or use your energy to its potential, because energy is a primary resource just on top of your mana and crystals. So that's something that you want to keep, or not keep. What am I talking about? I'm babbling at this point. But yeah, that's something that you want to use wisely. You want to use it to increase your monsters correctly. So just watch what your energy's doing. So let's kill these bad boys and get the hell out of here. So blah, roaring and snarging, oink oink, dead piggy pig. So bye bye Piggle Piggles. So see right there, main board. Save that for just a fodder monster to increase your new blah 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 blah. Your new well, I can't think. Let's take a drink. Pulse. No, so you can increase your evolutionary, your stars, your stats, your level, your overall things and such. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get this guy up to level 3 real quick, and then I'm just gonna show you auto, and then I'm gonna call it a day, because there are other things we can talk about later. Like I said, I might get this guy up a couple levels just past the first 2, so we can talk about the different rune sets and whatnot. Also, I do have another video on here talking about the best, the top 5, my 5 choice for starter. Give me a moment because I just reached my recording limit. So give me a second here, and I will actually, I'm just going to call this one a game. Yeah, we're done for now. So my next one, I will talk about. I'll talk about the different rune sets with you guys, and also different types of monsters that you might want to just keep a hand on. So I am good for now. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Leave me any tips or tips, or chips, lots of chips. Doritos, please, with cheese on top. Yeah, that's it. You guys have a great night. Peace out.